So as we look at the heavens and the earth and man and the man being in the creation, we have to consider what the Quran says when we look at the history of man. It says, travel through the earth and see what was the end of man when he failed to comply with the laws that had been set down, when he failed to comply with what was revealed to the prophets. The prayers and the peace be upon him. He suffered disgrace. And we know down through time, those prophets that God sent to man found themselves rejected, dejected by the people of their day and time because they didn't want to change their ways. So God brought destruction. He says, travel through the earth and see what was the end of those before you, who had civilizations that were better than yours, stronger than yours. And yet, they found themselves the losers in time when they didn't follow truth and justice and righteousness. Righteousness is the light that leads us in the world. It doesn't matter what era or what time you're in. Righteousness is the guide. If you want to find your way to the best of what God has revealed for man. And when we go contrary to the wisdom that we find in revelation that God has given to us, we find ourselves doomed to destruction. And many civilizations that have come before us have been doomed. So I bring this to our attention, dear people. The disposition, the attitude, the emotional nature, the intellectual nature that man has today, it's the same one our first father had. It hasn't changed. We're Adam today with all that potential for the full expression of every avenue that we can go down, every particular profession that we can have was in the first man, and it's in us now. So I want us also to be conscious of the fact that not only was decency in man, corruption was in man from the very, very beginning. Not only was honesty in man, lies were in man from the very, very beginning. All of these things that we see in the world today were in the first man. The first man was not as subject to influences that we're subject to today. From the internet with us, electronic media, print media, coming directly into our homes. Today, the world is much smaller than it was then. What we see in real time today influences us and allows us to make decisions and judgments immediately based on what we see. So we're in a different time. But our nature hasn't changed. It's the same nature that was given to Adam. And we know, as Allah tells us in the Quran, he fell. He was in the garden. God had already blessed him with favor. Put him in the garden from the very, very beginning, but somehow he was influenced and he wasn't satisfied.